guys, welcome back to my channel and back to my Disney vlogs, which I like to call Once Upon a Mine, courtesy of a beautiful combination called coronavirus, lockdown, and Disney Plus. So I've dedicated these series of vlogs because I'd like to show some behavioral patterns that I've noticed in Disney movies that we do subconsciously, which means that we don't even realize it. So if you haven't seen my previous video on Ariel, I will link it below. But today we have Rapunzel from the Disney movie Tangled. This video is actually not going to be about the princess, it's going to be about Mother Gothel. Now if you've seen the Disney movie, you know that Mother Gothel is actually not her real mother. The first time I watched this, I was like, oh, this is an amazing movie, songs are great, Prince is actually not Prince Charming, he's actually kind of a player. But when I rewatched this movie, it infuriated me. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out why. And it's only after a certain scene, which I will include, that I realized that the reason why this movie brought out such negative emotions is because it touches on a topic that I have extensive experience in, years of trying to deal with it, and that is emotional manipulation and emotional abuse. And basically what I want to do is just give you guys a few signs of emotional abuse, ways that I've learned to deal with it, and hopefully by the end of this video giving you guys some perspective to avoid or even try to get out of being in an emotionally abusive relationship. Therefore, this video is going to be probably one of the hardest I've had to film because it touches so close to home, even harder than my epilepsy video. I will also include that link below if you want to hear more. However, I have to emphasize this. If you are here looking for a quick, easy solution, I'm not your girl, because life is hard, so why should its solutions be easy? I am here to give you some perspective and hopefully put you on the path of finding those solutions, and also finding your own solution instead of me feeding it to you like a mama bird is so much more rewarding. So make mama algorithm love me and give me a thumbs up, ring that bell so you guys can see when I'm making new videos, and don't forget, subscribe to that channel. Before I tell you the signs of emotional manipulation, I like to do what I call harsh truth time. And basically it's me slapping reality into your face and hopefully giving you some perspective from my experience. So, harsh truth time. I've surrounded myself with multiple emotional manipulators and abusers. Why I've done that? That's probably going to be another video. But whether they're family, friends, romantic relationships, if there's one thing I can tell you is run. It is not your job to fix them. Emotional manipulators use their love as a weapon. It is their secret weapon, which is why it's so hard to figure out if you're being emotionally manipulated. And if you do stay in that relationship, you're just gonna get sucked into this psychological warfare, which scars are invisible to the naked eye, but trust me, are permanently engraved to your soul and are a bitch to get over. Now, I'm not saying to abandon the person that you may think or you do think that is emotionally manipulating you, but if they refuse to fix it and acknowledge that problem, and most importantly, take active steps to fix it, and the reason why I emphasize this is that emotional manipulators are great communicators. They make promises, but they hardly ever follow through. So if that person refuses to do that, it's not worth it. So, going back to Disney, here are a few signs of emotional manipulation, and if you stick with me by the end of this video, I will provide you multiple ways that I have learned to deal with it, and also still dealing with it. Sign 1, negging. Now, I didn't actually know this term existed, so I had to look it up. It means when a person gives you a backhanded compliment as a way to demean your confidence and your self-esteem. So, in this scene...
Hi. Welcome home, Mother.
Oh, Rapunzel, how you manage to do that every single day without fail. It looks absolutely exhausting, darling.
Oh, it's nothing.
Then I don't know why it takes so long. Oh, darling, I'm just teasing.
You can see that she is complimenting her on the fact that it's so easy to do this. And when Rapunzel says, well, it's nothing, she negates that compliment by saying, then I don't know why it takes you so long to do it. For this type of manipulation, I've actually noticed that it's one of the first signs of being emotionally manipulated, which means that it's easy to catch, and it means that it could be easy to solve. Not always. So next time someone is negging you, call them out. If they're playfully negging you, just throw one back and see how it is. Sometimes giving a person a taste of their own medicine helps to see them what they're doing is wrong. However, if this turns into a game of back and forth witty demeaning comments, my suggestion, not worth it. Sign 2, gaslight. Now, I wanted to put this as a second sign because I know most people on YouTube will zone out after a few minutes, because this is the most serious, horrific type of emotional abuse. Not manipulation, abuse. Gaslight is when someone is manipulating you to the extent that you question your own sanity. And this could be by either twisting the truth or reinventing the truth, saying things that haven't happened, that happened, and therefore you're creating what psychology loves to call false memories. And it literally makes you turn around and ask yourself, am I crazy? We've all doubted ourselves at some point. We've all doubted our emotional reaction. It's logical. It's what makes us want to be rational human beings. But if you find that you're asking yourself in a relationship, any type, am I crazy? Trust me, you're not. Because simply put, a crazy person will never ask if they're crazy. They just are. Now in the scene,
Mother knows best. Take it from your mumsy. On your own you won't survive. Sloppy, underdressed, immature, clumsy, please. Belly chew up a lie. Gullible, naive, positively sloppy. Ditzy and a bit vague. Plus, I believe, getting kinda chubby. I'm just saying, 'cause I love you.
we see Mother Gothel feeding a series of lies to Rapunzel to emotionally manipulate her to get her to stay with her. A very toxic mother-daughter relationship, even though she's not her real mother. I'm gonna be blatant. I'm gonna be honest, and there's no excuse for gaslighting. And if you feel like someone is doing this to you, get up and leave. I've had people twist the truth. I've had people making me question who said what and what is real. And I can tell you that it is the most terrifying feeling in the world not being able to trust your mind. Gaslighting can make you want to beg for physical abuse. And I know I'm getting really dark here, but I just want to translate the severity of gaslighting. Because in physical abuse, you have a physical manifestation of the abuse. You have a bruise, you have a scar that you can point to and say, hey guys, I'm being abused. But gaslighting, all in your mind. And it is the most terrifying feeling, not being able to trust your own mind. I don't trust my own brain. I have epilepsy. I do not know when it will act out. But not being able to trust your own mind and feeling that you're going insane, no person, no relationship, whatever kind, is worth it. One very common trait of gaslight is that the person will remain calm in chaotic situations, unrealistically calm. Because that way, when you overreact, when you show the appropriate emotional reaction to that situation, they can justify that you are overreacting or being a drama queen by their calmness. And if this goes on for a long periods of time, you actually believe it. You actually believe that you're overreacting, and you use that person's response as a way to justify and create your response, which is very screwed up. To this day, I cannot trust my emotional reaction. Something will happen in my life, and I have 3 people that I will go to, and I will tell that situation to those 3 people, and according to how they react to the situation, I will form my emotional reactions around theirs. Talk about long-lasting effects, right? No matter what you feel, or how insane, overreacting, emotional, crazy you may think it is what you feel. And you do not have to justify that to anyone. Sign 3. Using their love as a weapon and kindness as their fuel. The good old guilt trip.
How did you find me?
Oh, it was easy, really. I just listened for the sound of complete and utter betrayal and followed that.
Now you can see from this scene from Mother Gothel how she uses the good old guilt trip by saying follow the sign of utter betrayal or something like that, and obviously Rapunzel feels really bad. I've had my plenty. It's my fault that I did it. I've done so much for you. It's the least you could do. Or look at me, I'm the one that did this, this, and this for you. Monsieur Abuser and Madame Manipulator. Last time I checked, we weren't joined at the hip, which means that you choose what you want to do for me, and I choose how I want to reciprocate, or if I want to reciprocate. It's not easy to say no. It's not easy to call out a person on this. But think about it this way. To this day, and again, I'm bringing myself in as an example, I have troubles receiving acts of kindness. I have trouble allowing people to do nice things for me, accepting gifts, because I am terrified that those gifts have some kind of string attached, or I'm going to owe the person, which is ridiculous and very unfair, by the way, to the next person that does this. Because if this is a residue from a previous relationship, any kind of relationship, it's very much a slap in the face to the other person who is actually genuinely being kind and you're questioning their motives. Sign 4. Demeaning a person's problem by comparing it to your own. Now, this is very tricky because most of us, when we hear about a problem, we automatically try and compare it to our own problem to offer some sort of empathy. It's basically a standard structure of a conversation between two people. But there's a very delicate line between empathy and comparing your situation to prove that you always had it worse. Because then not only are you negating the person's problems, you're also diminishing their feelings, and sometimes you come out feeling like an entitled brat. So I've had this done multiple times for me. The most prominent example I can think of to help you guys out is everyday problems. Complaining that other people are making more money than you, that you were working really hard, that you are tired, that you can't afford nice things, you can't go out for a nice steak, and that you have to sit on a stinky bus. And then the other person has responded to me, "Oh, I know, it's horrible. And I remember when I had to wait in the soup line because I didn't have anything to eat. And I also had to walk home because I had no bus money." And you're sitting like, okay, so I not only have something to eat, I also have the luxury of taking the bus, and I'm complaining. Now, if this is done once or twice, it can give you some perspective and it can actually make you appreciate things out there. But if it's done on a constant basis, it's like you never have a problem and the other person always has it worse. So call them out on it. Tell them that this is not about you. This is about me communicating a problem to you. And if they keep doing it, learn to hear, not to listen. Basically, you are hearing what they're saying, but you are not taking it in. You are not listening to it. You are not letting it affect your brain chemistry. And at the end of the day, going back to my previous points, know that this is your problem, your feelings, your emotions, and you don't have to justify them to anyone but yourself. And even sometimes not even yourself. You're allowed to feel the way you feel. Sign 5, the silent treatment. Now, okay, I don't have a lot to say about this because it's pretty self-explanatory. Silent treatment for me is hilarious. I know it's bad to say because silent treatment is the easiest. It's basically you're talking, you hear your words and feelings bounce off against the wall, the person has no emotional reaction, and they usually end up getting their way because you're starting to rethink everything. And it doesn't allow you to have a healthy conversation and therefore a healthy relationship. So I usually just call them out because I actually find it funny. Because it's like, out of all the ways you could emotionally manipulate me, seriously, you're using the silent treatment? The easiest one? If you're going to be a rotten person and emotionally manipulate me, at least up your game a bit. And lastly, sign number 6. And for those who have stayed with me, thank you so much. Hopefully I've helped you up to now. Going back to sign number 6, using your insecurities as a way to demean you. Now, emotional manipulators are masters of communication. They will make you think that you know them better than anyone else, and in return, they'll make you think the same. So usually when you first start having a relationship with an emotional abuser, manipulator, they will tell you their dirty little secret. They will tell you something that no one else knows. And then you, as a human being, reciprocate and tell them your dirty little secret. It's all about human relations, right? Tit for tat. But an emotional manipulator will then use your insecurities as a way to get their way, basically. Now, I'm going to be honest. I've had people in my life tell me that no one is going to love me with all my medical conditions, all the pills that I take, that it's so big of them that they have to deal with this huge problem in my medical condition, and the fact that I have all these side effects from medication, which was gaslighting, actually, looking back. Because They weren't side effects, they were feelings. But like I said, a person that will emotionally manipulate you will use logic as a way to justify their argument and make it more convincing. And because they know that dirty little secret, which no one else knows, which means that they know you better, when you do something that doesn't fit what they want, they will say, I know you better than anyone else. This is not you. Okay, only you can know what's not you, okay? Let's just get that straight. I know more words than I knew when I was 3. I'm potty trained, thank God. So yeah, I've changed. My views on life changed. So no one can tell you that they know you better than you. And emotional manipulators will use that insecurity, that flaw, to prove that point. Now, the way I've dealt with this and how I deal with many of my problems actually is humor. Because if I have this huge flaw that you have to deal with, joke's on you. Because I have that flaw, but you're the one that fell in love with me or decided to be my friend or whatever the relationship is. So if they're using insecurity to make you feel bad, use some reverse psychology. It's think of, okay, if I should feel bad about this, shouldn't you feel twice as bad? Because I don't have that choice. I have that flaw. But you chose to be with me. Hopefully, I've shed some light on the whole topic of emotional manipulation. Let me know in the comments below which one resonated with you most. My DM's always open for anyone that wants to share their story, whether it's on emotional manipulation or the other topics I have talked about. Stay tuned for next week's episode on Thursday, where I'll be talking about the Cinderella complex. And don't forget to subscribe to that channel, help Mama Algorithm love me, give me a thumbs up, ring that bell so you guys know when I'm making new videos, and that's it, folks.